All right. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 13 of the State of Hockey podcast. Sadly, the Wild, as we all know by now, have been eliminated, but we will talk about that in a little bit, I guess. We'll just do a little second round review, and then we will go into those grades again, this time for the entire playoffs, because just doing it for the second round would look pretty porous on a sheet, and then we'll have some talking points and round three predictions, and then a little fun thing at the end, something new. How
Oh
are we
yeah.
feeling
There were some good series.
with Vegas and Anaheim? So
Oh yeah.
Vegas beat them in 6 games. This was not the outcome I wanted. Very similar to the first round in that Vegas was up 2-1, or the Vegas was down 2-1 and then won 3 straight, I believe.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
no, never mind. But felt that way. Whatever.
It was not. Yeah. It was 2-1 Vegas 2-2. And then overtime, same kind of scenario there where they have a chance to take a 3-2 or in Utah's case a 3-1 and also a 3-2 series lead. Can't get it done. I did predict this kind of series. I did think it was going to be pretty similar to the Utah series.
And it was.
Unfortunately, it didn't, like you said, didn't look like that at first. And then Mitch Marner decided he's a 2 point per game and a goal per game and a like 5 shorthanded goal point player. Shout out Brett Howden too. Took over the entire series. Dorofeev cooked in the last 2 games as well. And Anaheim could not keep up, especially in that last game. That was tragic. I am sick of the West now.
Literally, I wasn't a big fan of that corner of the playoff bracket anyways, but this is like the worst possible outcome is to see Vegas come out of that. Like with Edmonton, at least we get to watch the best player in the world um carry his team, and then with like the other two teams, they're young and fun. Honestly, I like those two teams. They just kind of had bad regular seasons. Vegas is just awful. I'm really pissed off about that. Carter Fart had a 6 goal saved above expected. He popped off. Like you said, Marner, insane. He had that between the legs goal. I think if we were
Filthy.
doing goal of the week, it would pretty much be unanimous. Nothing really comes close to it, especially, come playoff time. You're not going to see some sexy goals like that very often. Pavel Skorofeyev, the only player on that team that I remotely like, had a good season, good series here. 5 goals in 6 games, 7 points. Hopefully he's pricing himself out of re-signing with Vegas. That'd be great. And then Eichel, just a solid point a game. He's had a consistent playoffs. I think he's probably got 15 points now in 12 games. Pretty sure
Yeah, 14 or 15.
I think he has 1 goal and 14 assists, if I'm remembering his first round stat line right.
Insane.
And then for Anaheim, we can't really be worried. I mean, this was a great season for them. Sent all the young guys that don't have the playoff experience, but they're all huge and they played phenomenal in the playoffs. Cutter wasn't scoring like he did in the first round, but he did pick up a bunch of assists, getting 5 of them in this 6 game series. Then Beckett Seneca had 4 goals. Very respectable. I think if Dostal can be just like an average goalie, this at least goes to 7 probably. They definitely, I feel like they would have won that game 5. Yeah, just an underwhelming, disappointing series. How do you feel about Anaheim moving forward?
Yeah, Anaheim looks very bright. You drew similarities, I drew similarities as well between Anaheim and Utah. I think Anaheim is in a better spot. Obviously, they won a playoff series versus
Yeah.
losing one, but I feel like they're pretty similar teams. And like you said, Anaheim is just so big, so they already have like the right pieces, and now they have that little bit of experience. It's like, oh, playoff experience doesn't really matter, but it clearly does. In this series, you can show this series to someone who say it doesn't matter. Um, the coaching staff in John Tortorella and the Golden Knights helped as well, I would say. Yeah, I think Anaheim's going to come back better next year. And hopefully a 39-win team does not go to a conference final next year.
Don't remind
lot
me.
of bad stuff about Vegas. You like Dorofeev. I actually do like Marner's why I liked him on the Maple Leafs. So that's like my one bright spot on that team. Yeah, fuck Vegas.
I don't mind Marner either. You know what? I kind of was rooting for him when he was on the Leafs. Everybody hated on him a little too hard. So usually in those situations, I tend to be the person to back them up. But he is on Vegas now, so that just makes it a lot harder to cheer for him. He already was on the team that was hard to cheer for, and he went to maybe like one of the 2 teams that would be harder to cheer for than the Leafs.
Karma to Leafs fans though.
Yes, to watch
Very
him put up
fun.
these performances, especially like in the back half of series where he notoriously like didn't perform well in Toronto, admittedly. But yeah, that's pretty good. And then last thing here, I think we're blocking it out a little bit, but John Carlson, we traded a first round pick for him. We being Anaheim, I consider myself a part of the organization. Um, and he's a pending unrestricted free agent. I think he's in his mid-30s. 6 assists. He went scoreless, I believe, in this series, but 6 assists in 12 playoff games. What do you think happens? Do you think he goes back to Washington?
I think Anaheim is the team, and Carlson is the type of guy that they would love to keep him around at least for a couple more years. Especially, I mean, the whole team's young. The decor is relatively young too. So I think having that veteran blue liner in Carlson will be helpful for them for a couple more years. I think eventually 4 years in the future, they might move on from him, trade him in a pick for a younger guy in his prime, maybe. But yeah, I think they'll re-sign him for sure, at least for a little while.
That makes sense. Yeah, I hope they do. They gave up a lot to get him, so I hope they do. Moving on,
Yeah.
we've got Carolina and Philly, and I'll just start this one off. I was really wrong. Yeah, very, very wrong. I thought Philly would be able to pull this one out. I said though that was kind of stupid then, and it definitely was. As of recording, Carolina's entering like their 10th day off in a row because they finished this up so quick. There was 2 overtime games, but still, it wasn't very close. All of Philly's bright spots kind of got shut down. I don't even have anybody in their like top scorers thing because the only players with multiple points were Trevor Zegras and Porter Martone. Multiple points, by the way, so that's half a point a game across a 4-game series. There's just no positives really for Philadelphia besides Dan Vladar, I guess, actually putting decent numbers. But yeah, as the Carolina Glazer of the group here, what do you have to say?
Yeah.
Take your victory lap.
So we're gonna start. You're gonna rewind back to round one. I believe we both thought the Carolina and Sun series would go 7. I think a lot of analysts did as well. And as soon as Carolina sweeps Ottawa, they're like, oh, easy path, easy team. Same thing with Philly here. Obviously, Philly not even as good of a team as the Senators, despite getting around further. But I think they did actually put up a decent fight. But Carolina is just so good that it did not matter. They got cooked by Jackson Blake. They got cooked again by the Stanker himself. Yeah, it was, despite 2 of these games going to overtime and no real blowouts, they had 2 3-goal wins, or 2 wins by 3 goals, I should say. Philly was just outplayed the entire series.
Yeah.
I'm sorry too about even saying they'd make it to 5 games. Honestly, again, 2 of the games went to overtime, but Philly did not have any looks in those overtimes at all. Yeah, Carolina just destroyed them, as
Fair
I
enough.
thought. Yeah, Philly, I think they're pretty positive. Kind of similar boat in Anaheim, where they're a relatively young team, relatively inexperienced, but they put up a good showing. They beat their biggest rivals in the retirement home Pittsburgh Penguins. So yeah, despite getting swept in the second round, they're getting swept by who I think, spoiler, are the Cup champions. I've been saying it since January. And yeah, I think Philly's got a decent future ahead of them.
I think so too. Just a little heads up going into next year, Porter Martone will take Ivan Demonov's place as the rookie that I will just like nonstop glaze. I think that kid's special already.
That goes for both of us.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome. I think, you know what? I'm very surprised what Philly's putting together here, honestly, and how it's working. I think they're probably still a couple pieces away, even in the East, from contending, but they're trending in the right direction, and things have been going surprisingly well. I think they need to re-sign Dan Vladar or upgrade. Maybe give us Matvei Michkov. We give them Philip Gustafsson. We'll take Michkov off your guys' hands.
They
but
clearly don't want him.
yeah, I mean they're underutilizing him. We'll take better care of him here with his Russian friends in Minnesota. But anyways, in all seriousness, I think Philly is in a great spot. I'm not too worried about them. And Carolina as well. This is where we expected them to be, though, remember. They always make it to the conference finals. Now we have to see what they're going to do with it.
I want to hear it.
I had Pittsburgh beating them.
Pittsburgh beating them. Then you had Pennsylvania beating them. I know you're going to have Montreal beating them, too. And then I know if Carolina wins, you're going to have them losing in the Cup. You're going to have them losing in every round. I might be eating my words here in a week's time, but so far...
Did they always make it to the conference finals points
They
too?
do always make it.
I was wrong, though.
Florida. There's no Florida team, period. Just saying.
There's no Russian goalie, correction, because they always lose to the Russian goalies, whether it was in...
Both are true.
Igor Shesterkin, they lost to Ilyas Rokin, they lost to Sergei Bobrovsky and Andrei Vasilevsky. I guess in Boston in 2019 it's the only exception, but that was so long ago. Like Aho was a baby then.
That's a whole different team.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of Montreal, they had a and we this pushed our recording back a few days actually because the series was so good. Cole had Buffalo winning. I had Montreal winning. This isn't nearly as big of a like victory lap, haha shit on as Carolina Philly, but I'll
I
take
did
my
have
dub
Buffalo
here.
in 5.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. That I can see this being a close series, but I was saying kind of before we started that in 5. It's kind of crazy, but here we are. Anyways, I mean, it was a good series yet again. Montreal, just like in round 1 against Tampa, winning a game 7, even though they were pretty thoroughly outplayed by the other team. If you are the GM of Buffalo or a Buffalo Sabres fan, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling fantastic because my team has not done shit in what feels like a entire millennia. Um, obviously, well, not obviously. If I was a Buffalo fan, I would think this series was going to 7. I said it was going to 5. Um, and I think if it did go to 7, Montreal would win because apparently there's winning game 7s this year. They have the second or most game 7 wins all time as a franchise.
Probably.
So I guess they're
Yeah.
just destined for that. So obviously, as a Buffalo fan, you're in a weird spot where it's like you just made the playoffs, and then after making the playoffs, you were expecting to make a cup run your first year into the playoffs. So I think you're feeling a little weird as a Buffalo fan about this, but I think logically you're happy about this because a lot of success, young team, Rasmus Dahlin, elite performance. Surely they won in 4 because of that.
Tage too shows up, 8 points in 7 games. And then of course like the two players that I think everybody really fell in love with throughout these first 2 rounds of the playoffs in Josh Doan and Zach Benson. Um, real ones were in on Doan already. Benson wasn't out of my radar as much, but just seeing him of shorter stature, a little shit. Obviously, I'm gonna like a guy like that. He was fantastic in the series. Benson's gonna get a payday this offseason as an RFA. Speaking of free agents, Alex Tuck going 007, 0 points in 7 games in this series. And you really feel like, just having a couple of those would have swung the series their way. Just a couple points, just a little bit of contribution.
Even 2.
But he couldn't have got it done. And I think this actually got him. He's probably not going to sign in Buffalo now because I believe he wants close to 10 mil, and they just don't have the money for that to make that work and then keep a guy like a Benson and other players, or pay them fairly, that is, pay them the money that they will want long term. So I think this actually is a decent outcome for Sabres fans to see him do so bad. Like, if he wants to stay, he's going to probably have to take a cut, and he probably lost a lot of money in this series. But that being said, Seattle will probably still sign him for a 7x11 on July 1st, and we'll just eat shit and laugh at Seattle altogether.
Oh, man.
But yeah, this was a great series. Alex Newhook turned into Sidney Crosby for no reason. Montreal's depth has been insane, but their top line has kind of been whatever. I mean, you can see Nick Suzuki was a point a game, but it was almost entirely on the power play, as good as he is. We'll take that though. This will be interesting. Now both Eastern Conference Finals teams have had underperforming top lines carried by their second line / depth. Carolina carried by Blake, Hall, and Stankoven, and then Montreal carried randomly by like Alex Texier, Alex Newhook, Kirby Dach, and then power play points from the big guns.
Yeah. Slavkovsky pretty invisible this series. Like you said with that top line, Caulfield had a couple of big goals this series, but that was about it. I think one of them was even strength.
Yeah, that's right.
My shout for Buffalo was Ryan McLeod. Just like the playoffs in general, he wasn't, a superstar in this series, but I think throughout the playoffs, just having a guy like McLeod to definitely help them. So just a quick shout for him.
Respect.
Ivan Demidov, it's like, oh, he only had 2 goals, 4 points. Look, there's 4 guys more than them. He was cooking the whole series.
Yes.
Especially that back half of the series. Ivan Demidov was all over the place, scored some massive goals, and got Montreal that win, I would say.
I would have said something about it first, but I couldn't get it out of my mouth in time. Watching him last year in his it would have been like his 4th through 8th games against Washington in the first round. He looked like he really needed to adjust to the playoff atmosphere and style. He looked like that at times against Tampa too, but I would say from game 6 against Tampa on, he's just looked like a game-changing, game-breaking type of player. And the points finally started showing up in this series. So yeah, good series for him as well. Well, obviously, very bright future for Montreal. Obviously, I'm cheering for them against Carolina. Uh, yeah, that'll be a really, 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 really fun stylistic matchup in the Eastern Conference Finals as well. But we still do have one more series to go over,
That we do.
and it's Minnesota and Colorado.
It is a series for sure.
One of the series of all time. Game 1, just a sprint out of the gate. Colorado goes up 3-0, and then from there, I would say it was very even. I mean, obviously, look at the goals. But Wallstedt and Wedgwood both played pretty terrible. I really didn't think of those 9 or 8 goals that he was in the net for. I thought a lot of those were just on defensive breakdowns. Colorado's speed and like rest advantage really got to us, and we kind of screwed him over. He ended up not playing in game 2, which we'll talk about in a second. But this was a pretty terrible start. It was very exciting at times. He did have the lead at one point, but it was a pretty terrible start to this series.
Yeah, you can just see here a lot of negative orange, a lot of positive blue. I imagine it's pretty similar on the Colorado side of things too. Very big shootout. I would say a couple of the goals were entirely Wallstedt's fault actually.
That's true.
But yeah, when you're hung out to dry for 6 goals, giving up 2 goals on your own is not the biggest of concerns. But yeah, very shit goal savable expected by both goalies. Massive shootout. It was fun to watch though. Moving on to
game 2. This was not fun to watch.
Fun to watch. Damon Hunt legacy performance, not enough though.
Shout out Jeff Petrie as well, right there too.
Oh yeah, Jeff Petrie. Jake Middleton will forever be shit though when he's not playing that 6th or 7th D-man on the team. And John Hines decided, you know what, Gustafsson, you're gonna get us a game 2 loss and make your hip even worse for this surgery that suddenly popped up. Yeah, I feel like it was still a 3-goal game. I mean, obviously game 1 there was 1 empty net, but we got fucked this game. I don't even know, man. This was a very bad game to watch. I mean, obviously game 5 choking the lead, which we'll get to in a second. But yeah, this game I just felt terrible this entire game. It was not good. You can see actually on the game score breakdown, it looked like we were a lot better than we were. Every forward had positive. Most D-men had positive, including a ton of positive defensive metrics, which are those orange bars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Gus played a not great game, and that was kind of the difference.
It was. I was just actually going to say that. Colorado sticks with their starting goalie, or at least for the playoffs, their starting goalie in Wedgwood. He actually made a lot of big saves. I don't think the .29 goal saved above expected does him justice. He saved a lot of potentially momentum-shifting, game-altering type of chances. And Gus let in some softies. I think there was an empty netter in this game. That was the final goal. So it was really a 2-goal game, and I feel like let in 2 really, really terrible ones. Like the first goal was terrible. And then I know there was one other bad one snuck in there. His goal save above expected also I don't think does full justice. But I do want to go a little easy. It came out after the playoffs that he's going to get hip surgery. He was going through some of that. So we can't be too harsh on him, but I just think objectively it was a terrible decision either way.
Yeah, felt like we threw the game away there. Wallstedt that was his first real bad game of the entire playoffs, and we get rid of him immediately. Yeah, just not fun to watch that.
Yeah. Game 3. We
won.
Woo!
Dominant game. Wallstedt put up a legacy performance as well.
Pretty much carried.
We were cooking the entire game there. Our top guys, Kaprizov, Boldy, Zuccarello, Hughes, Faber, they did all the work. But, I mean, on the score sheet at least, they did all the work. But it was a very dominant game. Top to bottom, very fun to see. Again, a legacy performance from Wallstedt. That was kind of the difference maker there.
We were still the better team, though.
Still the better team.
Fair enough.
By far.
Yeah, chased Wedgwood eventually, finally. I think we also chased their other goalie in game 5. But yeah, this was the response that we needed. I really thought this was going to get us to at least 6. I thought we were going to roll off the momentum into game 4. And that was not what happened. But like you said, big guys showed up. Good win. I watched this full game. It was very entertaining.
8-4.
Bro, who's that on the left?
That's Matt Boldy with a very bad game score.
Jesus Christ. Look at that.
This was kind of the theme of the whole series is Matt Boldy and that second line overall getting clamped. Clamped very much so. Danil Yurov being that second line center. Will Eriksson has been out for the entire series. Did not help.
No.
Marcus Johansson did not do any of his antics that like he did in games 1 and 2. And yeah, we were basically a third and fourth line team. Our top line was also very pretty much a non-factor, not liability at times defensively like they were in game 1. We had no real offense there. And yeah, Brock Faber and Quinn Hughes, another legacy pairing performance, but the rest of our D did terrible. So yeah, we were basically just a one-line team, and it wasn't even the right line this game.
Yeah, I would say, once again, as a Wallstedt defender, he did what he could. 2 of these goals in this game were empty netters, so it was like a 1-goal game until the very end, and then they got a couple empty netters to put it away. Obviously, you can't blame Wallstedt for those. Top pair, like you said, did great, but yeah, just this is when we were like missing Eck really just fucked us, and we're just gonna lose this series because of that. Obviously, Brodin too. And this is when you kind of realize, oh shit, it's really over right here. Like I said, I thought we were going to take that momentum into this game. That was not what happened. They got a big one from us on home ice, and that led us to Game 5. I will go out and say right ahead, I was at a concert. I was at Bruno Mars. I did not watch this live, so I'm going to let Cole just take this one. I don't really want to say anything about it anyways.
So we go up 2-0. We get a goal in, I think, about 30 seconds by who I was just hating on, Marcus Johansson from Matt Boldy. They showed up this game. It was like, okay, our second line shows up big, literally right away. Our fourth line shows up big in the entire first period. Nico Sturm, legacy period. Nick Foligno, legacy period. McCarron and our other Foligno to a lesser extent. It could have been a 4-goal game. Michael McCarron had a goal called back on what was a questionable batted in by the hand call. It looked 50-50 to me, and the original call on the ice was a goal. So I try to make myself neutral for that and think that logistically, if there's no real like clear evidence, you should keep the call. But apparently there was clear evidence, got overturned. And apparently in this game, we needed to go up 4 goals to have a secure lead, which we did not. We played prevent defense the entire 43 minutes after that first period. Those 3 minutes, including that overtime where we fell apart immediately. And it was terrible to watch too, because the prevent defense started at 19 minutes and 59 seconds of the second period. They got 1 goal back. It's like, okay, we only give up 1 goal in a period using prevent defense. Use that math. They give up another goal, 3-2 win, whatever. It looked that way until 3 minutes and 37 seconds left. We give up 1 and then another to Nathan McKinnon. Snipe. And then at that point, you already know once they tie it going into overtime with the series on the line to clinch in home ice, they are going to win in overtime, and that's what they did. Yeah, we played a 1-period game. It doesn't show here on the breakdown, but it was a very bad 43 minutes of hockey.
I have no way of proving this and like backing this up. I don't think I have any recorded evidence of me stating this on the channel. But the one thing I will say against Wallstedt is like his positioning. I've said this to you before, I know, that he'll like overexert himself to take away a high danger shot, and then one simple pass just across the slot or to another player that has an opportunity to score, and he'll be terribly out of position. And that's pretty much what happened on the series winner. Obviously, that doesn't entirely fall on him, but you can see it in that goal that Brett Kulak scores, that he's just, well, where the fuck is he going? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Not great. I would be pretty much traumatized for life if I watched this live, especially you throw in that little McCarron bit as well. I kept checking and refreshing the score at the concert, and it was pretty devastating. But I just decided to like throw my phone into the crowd, just forget about it pretty much. So, yeah. Well, we'll see where we go to from here. We're gonna do some player gradings, but real quick first, I do actually have some talking points that I wanted to fly by you, so we're gonna pull those up quick. First one, for on the series, and I wanted to debate this just briefly. Who is a more important loss, do you think? As far as lineup wise, Brodin or Eck? Who do you think was more important that we were missing, or it was more detrimental that we missed?
I think if you ask me that question after 2 games, it's Brodin. But I think for the whole series, I would say Eck. especially since Damon Hunt started showing up in the latter half of that series. Brodeen's absence was obviously noted, but it wasn't that big of a deal. We just lacked offense, which Eck brings. And he's also a two-way center, so he kind of fills in that missing defense role as well. Obviously, Brodeen, the best shutdown D in our team. I would say a top 10 shutdown D in the league. Look up any Brodeen versus McDavid game for proof of that. Yeah, missing Eck just hurt. We started falling off face-offs near the end of the series as well. It was basically just as it went on, the absence of Eck was noted more and more. And yeah, we fell apart missing him. So I would say Eck for sure.
That's completely fair. I bring this up because I talked about it with my dad. I will say Brodeen. I agree with your sentiment in that in the first two games it was Brodeen, and then probably the back half it was Eck. But what I will say is in those first two games of the losses that we have, I mean, obviously that fifth game, super winnable. But it feels like if we have Brodeen, I feel like we win game two, or we win game. We arguably we win both of those games. I think those games were both pretty winnable. And the fact that Jake Middleton was on the second pairing for both of those games, I think contributed very largely to us losing both of those.
100%.
As good as Eck is offensively and just defensively, Brodeen, when it comes to stopping a Martin Necas, stopping a Nathan MacKinnon, I think he's the guy that does that. Eck's not going to win a bunch of faceoffs against MacKinnon. He's very good at shutting those guys down, of course, don't get me wrong, but like when it comes to speed and coming in on the rush, I think that's Brodeen's like sweet spot, and just not having him there I felt like was sorely missed. But I'm hearing the Eck argument for sure. Moving on.
I do like that hypothetical having Brodeen making us win at least one of the first two games would change the entire series.
For sure. Next one, also, not for the series, but just in general. We saw it in the series. How do you feel if you're a GM of the Wild or a head coach about Matt Boldy moving to center? Is that a possibility that you consider? Is that something you want to happen, or where you at?
So here's the thing. If Matt Boldy plays center, Kaprizov and Boldy cannot really happen because I think we are picking up a top-line center, likely Austin Matthews, as we've been saying, over the offseason. And I think Matt Boldy moving to center also then takes off that Eriksson Ek and Boldy combination, which John Hines loves. I think if Johansson doesn't re-sign for whatever reason, he's going to get a guy to fill in that position. So yeah, as much as Matt Boldy could play center, I would just say, I'll say it like this. I think on any other team in the league, Matt Boldy could play center. You know, maybe not the Avalanche. They have so much center depth. We're just in a weird spot where we need a 1C, and Matt Boldy plays with our 2C, and we can't play him on the third line.
Yeah, that makes sense. I thought he looked good, but I agree with what you're saying. I don't think that's like a permanent thing. He can fill in and avoid, if somebody's hurt. He plays like a center already, so smart defensively, but it would kind of throw a little imbalance in. He doesn't have to play with Kaprizov. I think you could make a lineup where he wouldn't do that, and you would have two balanced lines still, but it would be kind of weird. He wouldn't be playing with Ek either way, so that'd be weird. And then I've got one more, and we'll still kind of transition us into some other stuff here. Moving on to the third round, the Western Conference Final, between Colorado and Vegas. Who are you cheering for? That's a tough one as a Wild fan, because you've got Vegas, who eliminated us last year, and they've eliminated us before, versus the division rival Avalanche, who just eliminated us this year. One of those teams going to the Stanley Cup Final.
I think even if I wasn't a Wild fan, I wouldn't like either of these teams. Because you have Vegas, who no one likes, and you have Colorado, which is just like so stacked. It's like, might as well just hand them the cup already.
Yeah, pretty much.
Bad series. I am honestly, and I gotta say this 100% truthfully, this isn't even because Colorado beat us. I'm cheering for Vegas in this series. I'm cheering for Mitchell Marner, and I'm cheering against Nathan MacKinnon. And yeah, I want Vegas in 6. That's what I'm going for now. That's my prediction. That is my hope. And I am a Vegas Golden Knights fan. You will see me in Vegas apparel for next video.
The only team that I will not cheer for, or the only time that I will cheer for Vegas in a series is if they're playing the Dallas Stars, and they're not playing the Dallas Stars. I'm cheering for Colorado. I already hate Vegas terribly. I think both of the series we played against them were extremely winnable and frustrating. They treat their players like shit. I just don't like Vegas. I can get into it. I don't really want to. I'm gonna get red in the face, all that. But on top of that, I don't think they deserve it. So the fact that they could beat a team like Colorado, who I feel is extremely deserving, and I think is the best team and should win the Stanley Cup, if they do that, it'll just piss me off.
Now here's my hypothetical for you. If Vegas wins, that means we're gonna assume Montreal wins here for your sake. Wouldn't you rather have Montreal beating Vegas than beating Colorado? Wouldn't it be more satisfying for Vegas to lose to Montreal? Just food for thought here.
I as a Wild fan, I want Colorado to win the Stanley. Well, I want Colorado to win the Stanley Cup because number one, I think it's the most realistic, and number two, it makes me feel better. Like, oh, we lost the team that won the whole thing, so we're good.
I'll take that.
If it's Montreal, Colorado, obviously I'm cheering as hard as possible for Montreal. But yeah,
not cheering for Vegas. 6, baby. I'm not gonna say their thing though. I'm not gonna go that far, but Vegas in 6. No slogans will be said.
I'm cheering for Colorado, and I'm gonna go Avs in. I'll go Avs in 6. Makar's missing game 1 tonight. I'll go Avs in 6. So that kind of is complicated. I think I would say Avs in 6, even if he wasn't. But I just think Colorado's a way better team. I think Carter Hart, his amazing performance against some younger teams. I don't know how continuable that is. I don't know if Mitch Marner's going to be able to be a 2-point-a-game guy. I think he'll still be good. I don't see him like choking like he usually did with Toronto, but I think Colorado's going to kind of run him over like they have been to everybody. And then in the East, Carolina against Montreal. How do you feel about that one? Who are you predicting for that? I wonder.
I have to go with my pick. We're taking Carolina in 5, all right?
Carolina in 5. I'm going to go Carolina in 7. I'm going to say Carolina.
He's not delusional.
49.9% because I want to say that just so Montreal will win because I've been wrong every time about Carolina. But also I do think Carolina will just win. I don't know. Montreal actually stylistically could match up pretty well against Carolina.
For sure.
Like, I would not say that about Philly or Pittsburgh as much as I did pick them to win. I don't think they were good matchups, but Montreal like kind of will let soak in the low danger shots that Carolina loves to take and then come back with their big power play and their top end skill. Hopefully. I think the team, it'll just come down to whoever's first line plays less shitty. And I try to trust Carolina more, like you said, experience when it comes to these fine margins, and later on in the playoffs, experience will make a big difference. And unfortunately, I think it's going to be Carolina, and it will be the Carolina-Colorado Cup final that you did predict pretty much from the jump. So, yeah, that'll be that. And then we're going to go into some player grades.
And for my Carolina pick, the reason I have them in 5 is because, so Montreal, they're a very offensive team. They have a very good power play. Carolina is the best defensive team, I would say, in the league. They're definitely the best left. 100% no arguing that.
Yeah.
So you did say a good matchup, but I think Carolina is going to be even better defensively than Montreal is offensively. And yeah, Canes in 5.
Very valid.
This will be the series where Carolina actually proves themselves, not just for this year, but for the past, the entire 2020s. This will finally be that hump. Even if they don't win the cup, which they will, I think winning this series will get rid of all the easy schedule, easy matchup, fraud team.
Yeah, that's fair. This is their year, man.
This is their year. But this is also Montreal's year, apparently.
The East is super wide open. Like I might still like sneakily be throwing little jabs at them throughout the offseason just for facing like the youngest team in the playoffs. Ottawa with like
and the second youngest.
They're in their shithole, and then Philly with absolutely zero experience, zero expectation, on their way to the cup final. But we're gonna play that hypothetical out later on.
When they win the cup, it won't matter.
Yeah, exactly. No one's gonna have a little asterisk next to it or anything, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, definitely not.
Anyways, with that, we will go into the round 2 player grades.
I think still we're S tier.
All right. So playoff grades, not for round 2, for the whole playoffs, rounds 1 and 2, starting with Zach Bogosian. Where do you have him? Yeah. Don't really want to say much more there. He was pretty terrible. Hurt Yakov Trunyan, that's all I have to say. Matt Boldy. This one's kind of hard.
Matt Boldy was S in round 1, and he was C or D in round 2, so I think we throw him in...
Well, I would throw him high B, personally.
High B. I was going to say either high B or low A. We'll throw him high B for now.
We'll see where it shakes out.
Move him up for the bell curve.
Bobby Brink, non-factor in round 2. He didn't play at all. And then round 1, he was pretty terrible.
Yeah, I think he played like 2 games, so...
I mean, I would like D, but that kind of feels nice. But I would put him in
D.
Pretty inoffensive. Yeah. Bad on the power play in round 1, but we won the series, so you can forgive him. Jonas Brodin. This is tough. You can't blame him for being hurt.
Yeah, I would say still throw him in. I think we had him in B earlier, so keep him in B.
Yeah.
This basically is round one. Kaprizov, I would put in A. I think he did have a pretty good second round. There are 2 players on the team who I've reserved for the S tier, and he is not one of them.
I think that's pretty fair. And then Joel Eriksson Ek. I don't remember where we had him for round 1.
I believe we also had him in B just because he did his job perfectly,
Yeah,
like Brodin.
just like Brodin.
Again, this is not how good the player is. This is how good they performed relative to our expectations.
B is like, good job, you did it.
Which is why you're going to see Michael McCarron in S tier. Don't worry about that.
Brock Faber.
Faber S.
Faber S.
Phenomenal.
He definitely, yeah, I agree. Just above and beyond. Both series, both rounds. Good job, Brock Faber. Ryan Hartman.
I would say I want to throw him in A, honestly. I think he did very well both series. I know you're looking at B or maybe C for him.
I would go
We could throw him in.
I would go B above Boldy just because he was more consistent, but I just think he didn't win enough face-offs, the whole first line center thing.
He was great the first round, not as good the second round, but wasn't like a liability.
No, I agree. Damon Hunt.
Damon Hunt. I really want to put him in S tier, but that's Glaze.
That's too far.
I want to throw him in A tier because he did play, besides game 1 and kind of game 2, he did fantastic against Colorado for what it's worth. I think Damon Hunt, for being I think on the roster, our 8th defenseman, played fantastic.
That's a little revision. I think he was 7th, to be honest. But
7th, yeah. 7th or 8th, yeah.
Still, I think A is pretty fair. But I would pretty much keep him stapled to the bottom of A if anybody else happens to come up there with him.
For sure.
Marcus Johansson, I would put him, I think just because he played both rounds, I'd put him above these 2. Actually, I was pretty impressed with how he turned out production-wise. He started pretty slow, but back half of Dallas and then through Colorado, he had his moments. You know what? He was pretty fine.
Yeah, when it got kind of down to crunch time, he did good. Yeah, I don't think anyone really did good besides our literal 4th line in Game 5 and Game 4 too. But yeah, the latter half of Dallas and most of Colorado, he did very good. So I like B.
And then Michael McCarron.
McCarron, again, no S tier, but I would throw him above Hunt in A tier.
Yeah, I like that.
I think that's where we had him as well. Actually, I think we had him in S tier after round 1.
We did, but A tier after the last goals.
If that goal in Game 5 from his hand went in, he's
objectively yes. Regardless of what happens the rest of the series.
Mostly because we're winning that series in 7 due to Michael McCarron overtime winner. That's why he would go to S tier.
Yeah, true. Marcus Foligno.
I would put him in. I think C. Honestly, he was kind of a non-factor against Colorado, except when he tried to kill Cale Makar, and it kind of worked. It didn't work enough though.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the guy who like preys on the top line players to get murdered mid-game. And that was kind of what Foligno was trying to do, and he didn't accomplish it. So.
And then Jake Middleton, F. He was horrible. I don't want to talk about him at all.
Low Bogosian, which is crazy to say.
I'm putting him fully. I would, if there was another row below it, I would put him in there. I think he was that much worse than anybody else.
You know, I want Nick Foligno in A. But I'll hear whatever you're.
I wouldn't put him in A. I think he was actually really good. I would put him in B. Probably right below Boldy, just because Boldy is expected to produce, but there's such a chasm in production gap that I can't do that to have him above Boldy. But he did his job, and he did a very good job of it, and even exceeded a little bit. So B is fine. And then Quinn Hughes, where do you have him?
Here's our other S tier.
All right, good.
But do you have him below or above Faber?
I think if you're going off of expectations, you have to put him below Faber. I think he was our best player in these playoffs, but you're expecting that. Faber going above and beyond, I would just put him above him as far as expectations. Strictly expectations.
Quinn Hughes did, I think if the series ended after round 2, Quinn Hughes is like top 5 in Conn Smythe voting. But yeah, Brock Faber being your kind of the back runner to your star defenseman now. Again, no shade to Faber. We got Hughes, and then Faber started playing better. He's like, I want to be the number 1 D on the team, and he played like it for a lot of the series. So
Spurgeon.
He played shit in round 2. He did not have his D partner. I would put him in C.
I'm gonna put him below Marcus. I honestly was a little
performance alone is D tier, but because he's playing with fucking Jake Middleton, I think we have to leave him in C.
You can't blame him on. Yeah, you can't.
Expectations. You play with Jake Middleton, you don't expect to do good. So
I'm just gonna throw Nico Sturm in A. above
Very solid.
Hunt. I think he was just. I mean,
Yeah.
it's what have you done for me lately? A little bit, little revisionist history. But I thought when he played and he cracked the lineup, he was awesome. Vladimir Tarasenko.
Yeah, Sturm was hungry the whole series.
Yeah, Tarasenko's gonna go in.
I'd put him top of C. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
he had his moments. End of the Dallas series, and I mean, it really was just Game 6 of Dallas and Game 1 of Colorado. Other than that, he didn't do much. He was very good in those 2 games. Pretty bad in the rest of the series. But I don't know, maybe D. Maybe bottom of C at least.
I think
I-
I would go.
I think keep him in C, yeah.
I would go here is what I
Yeah,
would
C,
do with
yeah.
him. Just yeah, Trenyan.
I had high expectations for him, that's why. Trenyan, yeah. I don't know.
He hit a lot, and that was kind of his thing. I would
think like Foligno, he was invisible in round 2.
I'd probably put him like right here.
Yeah. Similar to Foligno, but Foligno had a substantially better round 1.
This one's tough. Jesper Wallstedt. I'm noticing now I don't have Philip Gustafsson in here, but we'll talk about him after Zuccarello here. Jesper Wallstedt, I would first round he was S. Second round he was probably like, and this is biased because I really like him, but I would have him low B, probably high C.
I would say we could put him top of B.
Yeah, that's probably where he belongs. I'm gonna
Just
put him
'cause
there.
Round 1 was so good, but round 2 was really not good. I feel like that if you shit your pants for like 3 games in a round, you can't
Yeah,
get away from that.
yeah. Danila Yurov, although he was asked to replace Ek and didn't do a good job of it, I think he was actually like, especially to his standards and like watching him develop and really having a close eye on him, I thought he was actually like really good against Colorado.
Yeah.
Expectations were still super high though, just seeing as he was filling in for Ek. So I would still probably put him mostly for his second round performance, and also actually he was pretty bad in the first round too. Probably around here with the rest of his creme line.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing with Matt Boldy, it's like you gotta do it a little bit better, I'd say.
Agreed.
He was playing. I mean, I'm not even gonna say he's playing less than what we originally had him for, because we had him on. Remember, beginning of the year, we had him top line with Kaprizov and Zuccarello after we traded Rossi. So there's that.
And then Matt
Speaking of-
Zuccarello last. Where do you have him?
He was. I'm not sure if we put him S tier round 1.
He did really good though. I
And
think we had him A.
Yeah, not as good in round 2, but still very good. There wasn't a single game this series where I was like, Zuccarello's playing like shit, and he played so good in round 1. So I think keep him in A.
Yeah.
Really
All right.
love Hunt, probably.
That's right where he belongs, I would say too. And there's our tier list. We've got Faber and then Hughes standing alone in S tier, which I think is pretty fair actually. And then you've got Kaprizov, McCarron, Sturm, Zuccarello, and Hunt in A. Going above and beyond for those expectations. B, kind of just doing your job and doing it good. Wallstedt, first round. Hartman, Boldy, Nick Foligno, Johansson, Ek and Brodin. And then C tier is Nick, Tarasenko, Trenyan, Yurov, and Spurgeon. D tier is Bobby Brink. He only played a couple games, but yeah. F tier, bottom pair. Holy shit, you guys suck. And
I would throw Jeff Petrie in D tier along with Brink, and then I would throw Gus. Knowing he was injured, I would throw him in B, but not knowing he's injured, I'd throw him low C, maybe D.
I'd probably throw him D, just pure reactionary, but he gets the presidential pardon. He's not on the list, but I would also have him B as well. And I would also have Petrie in D. All right, new day, same bullshit. Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals is done. Vegas won. We're just going to talk about that a little bit when we do some theory of hockey. Cole's going to do the one, I think, from today, and then I'll do the one from yesterday, and Cole can talk about the game since he watched the whole thing as a Vegas Glazer.
I don't know what you're talking about. No idea what you're talking about.
Oh, this is a good one. Actually, you know what? Do you want to do this or do you want me to do this?
You can do it.
Okay. Every player Cole Caulfield assisted. Or that assisted on a Cole Caulfield goal. Lane Hudson. This is definitely Nick Suzuki
I
is the
know
first one.
secondary assists, but I guess we're doing that.
12 assists as a defenseman from Canada. Besides, that's got to be Noah Dobson. That's not got to be. It's definitely on here. Oh, he's there. Great. Left wing from Slovakia. I wonder who that could be. Cole, how'd you feel about the game?
Yeah, so while Dylan's doing that, it was a pretty
there he is.
dominant game by Colorado, actually, for many of the most of the time, not a lot of the time. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. They're outshooting Vegas. They had a stretch in the first where they were dominating. Looked like they were gonna maybe score. Colorado had another stretch in the middle of the second where they were dominating, and then late in the third, kind of reminiscent to that wild game 5. When Vegas was up 3-1, Colorado did get 1 goal early in the third. They got a power play empty netter to make it 3-2 with a couple of minutes left. Seems like they were going to tie and come back, but Vegas did not decide to choke. They weren't going to blow their only other 3-goal lead. Shout out 2019 San Jose Sharks Game 7. They were not blowing that lead. They got the empty netter. They could have got 2 empty netters, but they kind of decided not to. I forgot who had the puck, but it was a very clear lane for the empty net with 5 seconds left, up 2 goals. No reason to not risk the icing. I guess they didn't want to fuel up an angry Colorado team being down 5-2 in Game 1, but they let that go. Yeah, very good performance by our players, Mitch Marner and Pavel Dorofeev.
True.
Our favorite players, not just on the team, but in the league.
Okay, we're going too far.
We're going a bit too far. Yeah, takeaways. I mean, Vegas stole that. To win the series, they need to win a game on the road, which they did. I didn't really go too in depth about my actual prediction on our last segment of recording. This is recorded the day after, obviously, which is why we're talking about it.
Okay, I lost, but let's see who I missed.
And
Bolduc.
Dylan missed his favorite
Struble
team.
and Jake Evans. Great.
So Dylan doesn't know puck even for his favorite team in the league.
Crazy work.
So
you can see I
we're
failed
gonna
here,
we're
too.
gonna scrap this recording. If you guys see it, it's because I had a legacy performance on my end.
Oh, this is stupid. Of course you get a Mickey Mouse one, bro.
So I'll get that started.
All right.
Name every team's leading scorer. Oh boy.
So who's Anaheim's?
I believe it's Gauthier.
Yeah, it is. 100 points for Boston. Just check.
I think Mr. Pasta has been their only 100-point player like the last 5 years, honestly.
Yeah.
Could be rage baiting a little bit.
I think you're right. And then
Center from Buffalo, American. Who else but the Tager himself? Let's keep it going. Oh no. Oh no.
Wait a minute.
This is a hard one.
Who stayed on the team the whole year?
Was it Coronado?
That's a good guess. We'll go with that. We have a lot of opportunities. Correct.
Okay, I'm glad because I had no idea who else. I was gonna say Zane Farrick or something.
Okay, my bad. For
Yeah.
Chicago or
Aho,
Carolina.
Aho and Bedard. Well,
Which one is he? 2017 or
What?
2018? Because there's a defenseman for the Islanders.
Aho
I think he
is
debuted
20
first.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Okay.
Wait, what? That's like a mini puzzle in itself.
And then we've got Colorado, Columbus, Dallas.
McKinnon. Brensky.
Oops.
Who's the next Dallas?
It was 96-point left wing from the United States. So
That was Robo, right?
yeah, it was.
Yeah, Johnson did not get that many points. I don't know why I'm even thinking about that.
He's also Canadian.
Oh, he's Canadian?
Yeah.
Oh.
Another reason to hate him.
Oh, damn, I didn't even know that.
85 point.
He seemed really American. Right wing, that was Cat, I think.
No way he led their team.
No,
bro.
trust. Right
No,
wing.
it was him. It was him for sure. But no way he
Yeah.
actually outperformed Raymond. And
David.
then it's Florida. This one's actually hard. I think Florida's kind of hard this year because everybody was hurt
Right
so
wing.
long. Wait, no, it's not hard. Yeah, it is. No, it's not.
Oh god,
No,
I'm
it's
so
not.
stupid. Marchand.
I don't
No?
think it's him. No, it's not him. But
Put it in, that's my
we have to
guess.
put it in.
Fuck. Oh.
Aoki almost would have gotten it wrong as well, so it's fine.
Almost. All right, come back to it.
Okay.
Let's keep it going.
73-point left
Thing is-
wing. Don't fumble this now. Because I know where your mind will go, and it's not there.
Yeah, that's Kopitar. No. I misspoke. It's Kempe.
Okay. I actually was going
I
to
was thinking Kempe and I
actually
accidentally
thought
said
you were
Kopitar.
stupid.
Oh no.
And then in Minnesota.
The big K.
I thought it was Eve Buinum.
It would've been if he stayed
Montreal.
the whole season.
True.
Suzuki.
Half Scottish, by the way. I learned that yesterday.
Suzuki.
Yes, and then the other half
Interesting.
like Japanese.
Forsberg.
That's for the Devils. It is a
That's
American.
an American, right?
Yeah, it's an American center.
So it should be Jack Hughes.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I feel like he didn't really play well. Okay, yeah. Barzell,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. And then it's New York, 78-point Swedish center.
Zibanejad.
Yep.
Next is Stützle. I already saw that.
Where you at, Stützle?
Just put it in Tim. You gotta do like
Tim.
things like you.
Stu. And then we've got Philly, 68-point right wing.
60-point right wing.
Oh yeah,
I believe it was Connect Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one took me a sec.
Yeah, that's kind of hard because I feel like they had a bunch of people in there.
If only they had an uber talented winger that could score a bunch of points.
Crosby.
And then it's San Jose.
Celebrini.
All right.
Now I'm gonna have to think about Seattle, bro.
This is where I would get one wrong, I feel like, too. Wait, no, I know who it is. I saw it in a video, so it's kind of LARP, but I know who it is. You're not getting this. You're not getting this.
Oh no, wait, I'm scared. I'm gonna take 2 guesses on this and then we'll come back to it. Jordan Eberle.
Okay, you got it first try.
Okay,
That's
bet.
crazy. Right? I think it's Eberle.
My next guess is McCann if that's wrong. Okay.
And then we've got St. Louis, 64-point Canadian center. I think I know who it is.
Kyrou?
I think it's Kyrie.
I don't think he's a Canadian center.
That's your guess, right?
That's my guess.
Okay.
Fuck. Robert Thomas. Try that.
He's American.
Oh, he is.
I'm still putting it in.
Yeah.
Oh, what? I thought he was American.
Dude, I was literally thinking, I was like, I
Okay,
think it's
good
Robert
work,
Thomas,
good
but I'm
work.
pretty sure he's American, but I guess not. All right, failed out. Cooch,
And then,
Nylander.
all right.
I'm starting thinking about the Mammoth.
We've got game 1 in the East today, and I am going to say that Montreal wins this first one. But I still think Carolina wins the series, but I think
Montreal
wins
is
the
not a
first
game
one.
1 team for that reason alone.
88-point left wing from the U.S. Oh, yeah, duh.
Dude, I got like 5 different guys in my head. I'm just gonna throw out Logan Cooley. I know this is.
He missed like 30 games because he broke his leg.
Yeah.
I think all their best players are American.
I know, bro. I have 5 guesses left.
Yeah, you're.
Okay.
This is so Mickey Mouse.
Dude, what do you mean? There's
This is
like
Mickey Mouse.
Okay, Dylan Gunther.
No.
No, okay, you're like.
No, I'm saying this is the amount of guesses you get wrong, or Mickey, like the amount you have to get wrong is Mickey Mouse.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, this one is not like this one isn't super easy, but it's an American left winger. The Gunther is a left winger in all fairness, but I think. But holy 51 points for the Canucks.
Is that Hronek? That's my guess. Put in Philip Hronek.
Okay, I don't think it's Hronek, but
we're gonna come back to it. Oh my god! Wait, I'm actually choking. Put in Eichel for Vegas.
pretty sure it
I would
is
know that
Eichel.
one.
And then it's
Scheifele.
yeah.
Is that
The left
not
wing.
Alexei Protas? Put that in. I don't think Ovechkin's left winging. Oh my god, it's Ovechkin.
Yeah, it is.
I guess they're putting him at.
No, he's a left wing. He is a left winger still.
Oh,
And
okay.
then we
boy.
still have Utah, Vancouver, and then Florida up there too. I know one of these is gonna piss you off if you don't get this. I know at least one of them is. Utah is gonna piss you off because you're blanking hard.
I am blanking hard. I'm trying not to waste guesses.
You still have 2 you can get wrong.
Okay, let's go to Florida first.
Okay.
Right wing. 61 points. Dude, this is like how are back-to-back cup champions their leading scorer is 61 points?
Because everybody was hurt, including him, for like double-digit games. It was almost Marchand. I'm pretty sure he had like high 50s.
I guess we're gonna go with Reinhardt?
It's Reinhardt.
Okay.
It's Reinhardt.
I wasn't sure.
Selke runner-up.
You're not
He almost scored that many goals a couple years ago.
My next guess was Verhage, so I think he was at least like 50s. All right. Oh, duh. It was Pedersen.
Yeah.
On the Canucks. I don't know why I said Phil Pronik.
I mean.
Oh, you didn't let me guess if it was the 2018 or 25 one.
Elias Pettersson.
Okay. Point leader. Dude, I'm actually...
Gold medalist, by the way.
Let me lock in. Wait, no. I know who it is.
Okay. Are you blanking on the name?
I'm blanking on the name.
Okay. If we need initials.
Clayton Keller.
Okay, good job.
God damn, bro. That took a minute.
Good job. 9 minutes, 12 seconds. We clutched up.
We got it. Little bit slow. Ignore the Phil Pronik pick. I would say all my other guesses were maybe the Logan Cooley pick too.
I would say Protas over Ovi is a little bit questionable, but it's getting to that point in their careers.
Respect Alexi Protas.
No, Protas is a beast. No, it's just respect Ovi. I can't believe DeBrincat led Detroit. That surprised me. I think I would have.
I liked my Coronado and my DeBrincat pick.
Yeah. The
Also,
nation really
pick,
helped.
honestly,
If
yeah.
they didn't have the nation, I probably don't get this.
Yeah.
Maybe I have like one left. This would be hard. This one's hard. All right.
Yeah. Well, I'm going. You can stop it now.
Bet. All right. That's it for us. We'll see you guys after the playoffs probably. But until then, peace.